Happy New Year. Wow. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in LA. That's what some of the locals call Lower Alabama. And is in fact a real joke. I don't think it's a great joke, but it is a real joke. And it's 70 degrees. I don't know. I guess, is it January? Is it really January if it's 70 degrees? I'm enjoying it. I'm out here at one of my secret weapons. I'm gonna pan around here. This is a little, I got the sun, there we go. This is a little local city park, not too far from my house. It's got a real nice pond there. And one thing I like to do when I'm having a plot problem or any kind of like story hiccup is I'll come out here and get me like a bass lure and just walk the perimeter of this pond, maybe put some music in and just work that bass lure and work out my problem. And I have in fact never caught a fish in this pond. I've never seen anyone catch a fish in this pond. I have seen fish in this pond. I think they're exceptionally intelligent fish. They must be Harvard grad fish. I don't know, but I've also never failed to solve a plot problem while working this pond. So I'll take it. It's a beautiful day, and I'm glad to be out here. But what I wanted to do is, since it's the new year, first of all, I want to wish you a really, really happy new year to you and your family. All the very best in the 12 months to come. Prosperity and health. I know that's a big one in the last few years. We've really learned the value of our health. I got the sun in my eyes. Pivot around here. So I wanted to wish you a very, very happy new year, sincerely. And I also want to tell you a little bit about what I'm working on and what you can expect from Logan Riles in the coming 12 months. Because I've got some big plans. I'm really excited about it. Really excited about everything that I want to share with you. Some stories, some adventures, some page-turning action. But before I do that, if you'll indulge me, I feel a necessity to talk about 2022 for just a moment, because for a lot of people around the world, it was a tough year. Maybe for you it was a tough year, with the residual effects of COVID, not just for our health, but for our communities and for our economies. A lot of people struggled. And then, of course, there's the tragedy, I would say the evil of what has been done in Ukraine. There are writers in Ukraine right now who have exchanged their keyboards for rifles, and they're defending their homes. And it's difficult for me to wrap my mind around that. I come from a military family. I have brothers in the military right now, and even with that culture that I grew up with, we're so far removed from the idea personally of your apartment building being hit by rockets. So we've all talked about that. I don't want to bring anyone down, but I think that because of the hardships that have happened in this past year, I feel an extra desire to express gratitude, because 2022, quite honestly, was a pretty great year. I got to publish 4 novels. I got to start 2 brand new series, and both of them so far have been very well received. I got to make new friends. I got to do some traveling. So it was such a blessing in so many ways, and I can't go into 2023 without pausing to just say thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you to everyone who picked up one of my books, who supported me, who left a review, who sent me an email, who gave me feedback that maybe wasn't positive and let me grow. Thank you to my editor, Sarah, and my proofreader, Lisa. Thank you to Incubator Books and their partnership with Mason Sharp. And thank you to SRP, Severn River Publishing, and their growing partnership for Reed Montgomery. Thank you to my amazing narrators, Gary Bennett and Kyle Tate. Thank you for putting your heart and soul, and most importantly, your voice into my stories. Thank you to my friends and mentors, Cap Daniels and Jason Casper. You know, Cap has been there from day one. He really opened the gate for me and showed me a path into publication that I'm deeply grateful for. And more than that, much more than that, for his friendship. I'm so grateful for him and his wife Melissa. They've both become friends. And then Jason Casper, you know, he answered emails early on and put up with dumb questions and was friendly and encouraging. And you know, he was so far ahead of me, still so far ahead of me, but never once did I get the perspective that he didn't have time, or that he didn't believe that there was room for one more. And Jason actually introduced me to Severn River, and for that connection, I'm grateful. So much to be grateful for. And of course, again, my readers, every one of you, whether you took a shot on my first book years ago, or you just picked up a book last week, thank you. Thank you for giving me a shot. Thank you for believing in a new author and giving my stories a spin, and for the reviews and emails and everything else. It means the world to me. It truly does. And with that in mind, I am ready to work harder than ever to bring you the very best stories in 2023. I got plans. Let's talk about it. So I recently discovered, when I was out here at this park, that there's actually a second pond. It's back here in the back. There's really no one out here. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe that's where the dumb fish are. You know what I mean? Maybe that's where I can catch some fish. But there's two sides to every coin, right? If I'm catching fish, I'm not solving plot problems. And that's the main reason I come out here. So I'll think about it. You'll have to excuse my voice and my occasional cough. I had a bout with COVID. All good now, but can't shake the cough. Got a little smoothie. This video is not sponsored by Tropical Smoothie, but that would be amazing. We should set that up. I could drink a free smoothie, definitely. All right, so let's talk about 2023 and what we got coming, because it's a lot. So if you're on my newsletter, then you already know. And if you're not on my newsletter, please consider joining. You can join at loganriles.com. I'll send you a couple of I believe right now it's a couple of free novellas, and you'll be in the loop for all the news, and also giveaways. I do giveaways several times a year. Giveaways, some Logan Riles swag, some signed books, all that. That's my little promotion there. But if you're on my newsletter, you already know that I recently signed with Severn River Publishing, which is a big deal. It's really exciting. They're going to be taking over the publication for Reed Montgomery and the Prosecution Force series. And the reason this is big is that that's going to take a lot of work off my plate. A lot of the editing process that I manage, and the cover design process, and most of all the marketing process. They're much better at that than I am. So with them working on that, I get to focus on what I think I'm best at, which is writing. And with that in mind, so many plans for 2023. I'm sorry, my voice. I just can't quite get to 100%, but we will get there. So let's go series by series, let you know what you can expect. Mason Sharp, we'll start there. The next book in the series, it's the second book in the series, Takedown, that's coming to you January 18th. You already all know all about that. It's going to be a great time. Super excited about that book. This month, being January, I'm going to work on book 3, which doesn't have a title or even a working title yet, but it's also going to be a riot. And then I have plans, or a concept rather, for book 4. And later this month, I'm going to be taking a research trip down to Florida to scope out some locations for book 4. Book 3 is actually going to be set here in LA. So it's going to be fun. I get to include some local spots that I like and see if you can guess what they are. So with Incubator Books, we've not really committed to any kind of like release schedule for 2023. We're kind of leaving that one up in the air, and we'll take it as it comes. But I feel confident 3 books, take down, and then 2 more. That's at the least. We may do more. We've got audiobooks coming too. Andy Ingalls is going to be narrating the series. He's already working on Point Blank. So we're super excited, and there's a lot more Mason coming down the pipeline very soon. Now, Reed Montgomery, switching gears to the prosecution force and the work we're doing with Severn River. Very excited about that. I just completed the manuscript for book 4, Failed State, and that is, I'm going to be self-editing it, just kind of polishing it, fixing some problems that I know are there. I'm going to be taking care of that in January, and then February it's off to Severn River to do all their magic and all the great work they do. And I think the release date for that one is this summer sometime. We'll have to nail that down, and of course I'll keep you posted. Another great reason to be on my newsletter. And then I'll be right back to work on book 5. So for this year, I don't know how many we're going to publish. I have an idea how many I'm going to write this year. Of course, there's a process to get them published. But I'm thinking, first of the year, I'm thinking we'll be able to release at least a couple. We'll be able to release Failed State, probably book 5, book 6, either this year or early next year. I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that it's going to be great. With Severn River's partnership, I'm able to put so much more energy and focus into the story and the research to just make sure everything's right and paced correctly, and just you can't put it down. So I think you're going to find the stories and the series is better than ever. I really, really hope so, and that's my ambition. Now, we talked about Mason. We've talked about Reed. There's one more thing. With some of the free time that I have, now that Severn is partnering with me, I'm going to be walking around this pond throwing that fish lure, definitely. And I'm probably going to be spending more time at the beach because I just love the beach. Love it so much. But there's also a little passion project that I want to do. You may be familiar with my Wolfgang Pierce series, which is a series of novellas, and I released those in 21. They're not as popular as Reed Montgomery or Mason, not even close. But the readers who like them really like them, and they've made a great observation for years now that the person Wolfgang is at the end of that time in Sydney, which is like circa 2013, and the person he is when he appears in Reed Montgomery's series, circa 2018 or so, very different people. And the reason for that is because Wolfgang goes through some hard times, and he transitions from the broken ex-operator that he is at the end of Sydney into the hardened wolf that we know in the Reed Montgomery series. And those hard times take place in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And I've said for a while now that I'm going to tell you that story, and I've been so busy, I've been so busy with all the different things I have to do. But now that I've got just a little bit of free time, I'm going to work on that. There's going to be 3 more novellas, and that's going to conclude the series. It's going to tell that story, that time in Bangkok, that time in Hong Kong, and that time in Dubai. And I plan to release Bangkok and Hong Kong this year. I don't know quite exactly when. Bangkok will probably be in the summer, maybe Hong Kong in the fall, and then Dubai, we'll just see how the scheduling works out. But I'm very excited about those stories. I've already got a really good idea what happens in Bangkok. Got a little time to work on it coming up here in the next few weeks. And I'm really excited to share those stories with you. And of course, I gotta talk to him. I guess I'm putting him here on the spot, but I'm hoping Kyle Tate will go ahead and sign on to complete the series on audio. I think he will. I think we could talk him into it. Yeah, he enjoyed the series. I think we can talk him into it. So if you're an audio listener, you'll be able to finish out there as well. But those are the things I have planned in 2023. And how you can be involved if you're ready to get on board and get excited is, of course, like I mentioned, joining the newsletter so you never miss an update, get a chance at some signed copies, some giveaways, things like that, and maybe a chance to give some input on the book early on and some ideas you may have. If you're interested in the next Mason book, you can pre-order that now, just 99 cents. Just 99 cents. Yep. Incubator has got it marked down for just 99 cents. I think it's an awesome deal. It's a lot longer than Point Blank. It's probably like 70 or 80 pages longer, something like that. So even more action than before. The pace really doesn't let up. So you could pre-order that. That'll be here on the 18th. Audiobook's coming. And I will keep you updated on all the other things that are coming down the pipeline. But again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for giving my work a shot. I mean, if you've got writers that you enjoy and you're reading, to take a chance on somebody new can be a little, it can be a little bit of a question, because all our time is limited. And when you invest, $5 or whatever into one of my books, that means a lot to me. But I understand that the true investment is your time, because you can always make another $5, right? But you can't make that time back. And that's something that Brad Thor, an author I greatly admire, talks about. And I'd really try to keep that wisdom in my mind when I'm writing, that you can't get your time back. And so it's my job to make sure that every page was worth your time. And so thank you for spending your time to give my work a shot. Thank you for all the reviews and the emails, the encouragement, the feedback, all the ways you supported me in 2022. I'm going to be working harder than ever in 2023 and become a better writer and tell some better stories, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to talk about, any suggestions, go ahead and drop me a comment wherever you see this video. Shoot me an email, logan@loganriles.com. And I'm always down to say hello, make a new friend, or talk to an old one. So as you can tell, we had a little change in scenery, and at this location you can hear the geese flying overhead and my dogs barking in the backyard. But apparently my little fishing hole park, those are some loud geese. Apparently it closes at 5 this time of year. I thought it closed at 7, so I got kicked out. But anyway, as I close up, there's one more thing that I really want to tell you about, and I can't really tell you much. But amid all the other things I'm grateful for this year, I'd be very remiss if I didn't thank my wonderful wife, Annie. There wouldn't be a Logan Riles without an Annie, and that's not an exaggeration. Her support and encouragement over so many years for me to write, for me to keep writing, several times when I really was seriously wanting to quit. And for me to stay with the story, all the time she's brainstormed with me and just encouraged me, and I can't thank her enough. And the reason I save this little bit of gratitude for last is because Annie is actually working on a novel of her own. She's going to be a psychological thriller writer, and guys, it's going to be really good. I mean, I've had a look at it, and I can't really say anything. It's not mine to talk about, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So if you want to see what she's working on, you can check out her page at Instagram, Annie Harlow, Harlow, and see what she's got going on. And it's going to be a little bit longer coming all together, but it's looking just really exciting, and I'm so pumped about it. And so I just want to say a special thank you to her and all the amazing support over the years. Just couldn't do it without her. And I'm very excited about what she's got coming. And if you like psychological thrillers, you might be too. So stick around for that. But with that, Happy New Year. Thank you again for everything. And stick around. We got some thrills coming. And my neighbor there is opening his garage and got some headlights coming. So I better wrap this up. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.